free and I was high enough. Somewhere along the lines we stopped seeing eye to eye. You were staying out all night and I had enough. No, I don't wanna know where you've been or where you're going, but I know.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Pineapple Master Travy here, bringing you guys a new video today. I'm here with Dare Slips. Miss Slips.
Oh, relax. What is good, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And as you can see by the title and by the thumbnail, we're going to be continuing this series. We're going to be doing tips for directors, episode number 2 or 3. I'm saying 2 or 3 just because I recorded episode number 2 just then, but I may use episode number 2 as episode number 3, and I may use episode number 3 as episode number 2. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, we're going to be doing tips for directors. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to get recognized by big teams leaders. So today we're going to be joined by Travy. Now I thought I'd ask Travy onto this series just because obviously I'd lead Silver, but Silver isn't like a big team. And Travy has kind of been at the head of like all these big teams. He's led at Bear, led Dare, led L7, and he's also leading directors block. So I thought I'd ask Travy onto this series. I'll introduce Travy in a second once he's come on Discord. He's just DM'd me saying that he's going to get on. But yeah, I thought I'd ask Travy just because it kind of gives you like an insight. Obviously, I'm a director and Travy is a leader. So it's kind of giving you guys like 2 insights as to how I got into Dare as like a director and the best way I got noticed by Travy, if that makes sense. So we'll cut onto the Discord right now and we'll go speak to Travy. Okay, so I'm now with Travy. He's in the Discord. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the best ways to get noticed by team leaders. I said I'd bring Travy on just because like he's, you know, been leader of all these big teams. He's also leader of Dare Rising right now. So Travy, say what's up.
What's going on, guys? Pineapple Master Travy here. Excited to be here, Slips. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So like I said, we're just going to be talking like basic tips on just how to get noticed by bigger leaders in general. So like what would be like the first thing you would say for someone to get noticed by you to join Dare?
That's a very good question, Slips. So I do try my best to look at every single video that people do link me. What I actually started doing was people who I do follow, I would type in like on Twitter, I would search up keywords like I uploaded or new video, and I would just go through my feed and, you know, I would just watch some of the videos some of my followers, you know, had uploaded during that day. That's what I've been doing recently, and actually that does pretty well considering, like, I know I would make tweets saying like, hey, link me your videos, and not everyone would do it, not everyone would see it.
Yeah.
And then also people upload at different times and everything, so it's a lot easier to do that. I do it like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, Travis been doing this a lot recently. He's done that, like, not just with me, but like one good thing, like I've always said this in my videos in like the previous 2 episodes, and one thing would just be like stay active on Twitter, if that makes sense. Stay active to like bigger teams leaders, because you never know when they might tweet out saying link a video for a chance to do this or that. So obviously staying active on Twitter would be like a big thing, would you say? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's kind of hard to be active on Twitter considering if you follow a lot of people and, you know, you have to be on like all the time, which I don't know. Being on Twitter, it's crazy just because you see different
Yeah, because there's all different time zones, all different things. But like the first thing I've always said in like all my videos and like the 2 first episodes would just be stay active and just trying to stay active as much as you can on Twitter. Not just Twitter, but obviously YouTube. Right. But Twitter would be like a big thing just because you can contact other leaders and ask for feedback.
It's also important too, that I've noticed at least, especially if you're trying to get noticed by these other teams, these organizations even, or even as individuals, is to stay active with them, support everyone as much as you can, as much as you possibly can. You know, we're in this community, and I feel like you can't necessarily move up without, you know, actually acknowledging the people who support you or the people who you respect most, you know. And I don't know, that's crucial, just considering, like, I know me, I never really used to support people like that, you know, their videos. I never really watched YouTube just because I never really had the time to do it. But then I started realizing, I was like, hey, wait, if I start supporting people's videos, I start actually acknowledging them, there's a chance it's going to come back to me and they'll start doing the same thing for me. It doesn't always work. You know, people have different schedules, different parts of their life, whatever. Yeah. And so not everyone's always going to do that. But there's a good chunk of your supporters that will do that. I know for you smaller guys out there, you know, it's hard for you guys to grow, and I respect that. You know, I understand that. It is very hard to grow now. And one of the big things I can say is, you know, getting noticed by these larger teams is collaborating with some of these people in those larger teams.
In these bigger teams. Yeah, I I think that's a really good point. Especially even if it's just literally offering to do like a top 5 players for them, that's just a little bit of recognition you can get. Because you never know who would be watching their videos. It could just, like I said, the top 5 players, and S&D highlights feature in those videos. I know I picked up someone to Silver, his name was Talos, a while back. I first noticed him from he was working with Red Plasma. So that's just like an example of how like working with bigger people helps.
And that could go with some of you larger guys too. Like, it's crazy. So the story behind, if you guys seen, I had picked up Zanstation Adair. I didn't know anything about Zanstation until he did that diss track with Crypt. Crypt is an amazing content creator. I hope to see him in Dare soon because I do feel like he's very close. But Zanstation, there was something about him that just made me say, wow, this kid or this guy, his content is there. Like, there's variety, diversity, creativity. Yeah, he may do diss tracks, but he has other forms of content. It's not just gaming that people want to see. You know, we're way past that point where we want to see like cut comms and everything like that. We want to see the personality behind the content, the person behind the content, and so that's huge. I mean, yeah, we're in the COD community, so of course we want to see that trick shot and sniping stuff. But times are changing now, and you have to actually start venturing out if you ever want to see growth. You can't stick to the quota, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because I agree. When you picked these guys up, you picked him up and another guy, and like a lot of people within like the directing community kind of looked at that point and was just like, they've just picked these guys up for numbers. But if you actually take a look at those guys' content, you will see that they deserve the subscribers they have, and therefore like their content is really good. So that's kind of, obviously people's opinions have changed now. They've looked at people's contents, but that was like a thing that happened with there. And I'll admit that I thought that at first, but like I watched.
Yeah,
their videos.
I mean, I'm not just sit here and like beat around the bush saying that it wasn't necessarily going to be like that. Like I wasn't. I didn't pick them up just for the numbers, because I mean that's originally how it started out. Yeah. But I started to realize that these content creators who are not a part of our community, we can give them a platform and our team. They can
kind of like use each other's platforms to
grow, to introduce them, because you have to realize that Zane, for example, and Rams is a GTA YouTuber, so his audience is primarily Grand Theft Auto, and then Zane is like his, you know, whatever.
He just has like a built-up fan base of
right. But then if we introduce our audience to them, there's a higher chance that our audience will go start supporting their videos, and then, you know, vice versa. That's how, exactly. And it's cool to see that, because what I want to start doing, you know, I want to start branching out, get away from trick shotting and sniping, not necessarily like completely eliminate it. I mean, yeah, that's our roots. That's how all these teams grew, or grow. Grow. That's how all these teams started off. You know, and so you have to realize that you can't cut it out. If you cut it out, you're gonna lose a lot of your fan base. It's not gonna work. So you have to balance it out. You have to slowly introduce new forms of content, and so that's what I'm starting to do with Dare right now, which is why I'm starting to look for these other guys, even smaller guys. You know, the way I look at it is,
subscribers.
When it comes to content, like in forms of, let me think about this for a second. When it comes to content in forms of, in terms of like, what's gonna work for the team channel, you know, what's gonna work for Dare itself. The whole numbers aspect, it doesn't matter to me. What I want to see is quality. I want to see time put into the videos, the ideas behind it. At first, when I first started working with content creating teams, director teams, it was more about the series and everything, and making sure and being creative with your series. Now, I will tell you that's it's nice and everything, but I'm starting to discover that really, it's to be honest, it really isn't, because one little variation is not going to make a difference on how well a video does or how well a video is perceived.
Moving on from that point, like working with other people, moving on to the next point. When you're picking up someone to Dare, would you rather like pick up someone who has consistently good numbers, or would you rather pick up someone who uploads maybe once a week but gets the same numbers as these other guys, but like their videos are really, really entertaining? Obviously, both pickups have good numbers. Would you rather see consistently good work, or would you rather see one like banger of a video per week? Which one would you prefer?
I guess it kind of goes both ways, to be honest. I mean, if I could have one, it'd probably be more consistent than anything. It is harder for videos like that. It's harder to maintain, because you have to worry about, okay, do I have the right idea for the video? Editing takes the most time.
I agree.
Record the idea, depending what kind of video it is. You know, if it's like an IRL video, that may take longer than the editing process. But editing is always key. If your editing's there, the video's gonna be enjoyable. But
Yeah,
also,
I agree.
your personality has to be there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not a funny person, you're not someone who's likable, someone who doesn't vibe well with your audience, it's not gonna go well.
Yeah, you always have to have like that connection, even if you're just working with one person. If you're doing like, I'm just gonna bring it back to like trick shot face-offs. If you're just doing like a trick shot face-off and it's like really awkward, it's just not entertaining to watch. There's got to be like that consistently throughout the video where it's just like flowing well and it's good to watch, if that makes sense.
Right, and you know, for stuff like that, trick shot face-off, series like that. I mean, me personally, I like to see those videos. I mean, even though people do them quite often, everyone's always different considering if it's a different person making the video, you know, so there's different personalities out there. People have different ways of just being entertaining. And so, you know, series like that for all you content creators out there trying to join, you know, teams like these larger trick shotting, not even just larger teams, but teams that still like, yeah, make trick shotting and sniping their route, I guess, or not their focal point still. Yeah. That's something you should focus on, is being consistent with your series, how you collab well, because the thing with these series are, you have to actually truly be entertaining, in my opinion, you have to work with others. Like,
yeah, I agree.
By yourself, but it's better to be surrounded by other people to make videos with. It motivates you and inspires you to actually want to get out there, make this content, you know?
So, off that point, like, when me and Tropical joined there, would you say, like, a reason as to that was because we was like working together? Is that something you'd like to see? Like, people.
I saw you two as a duo when you guys first joined.
Yeah. See.
Then obviously, so it kind of shifted though.
Yeah.
You guys started having your own focuses, but yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a squad or a duo or something who you can like work with, because the way I look at it is, it's more enjoyable that way. You know, it's more enjoyable to make a video with someone who you enjoy making videos with, who you enjoy playing with.
Yeah, you become more recognized with that group and people, if that makes sense. If you take like the fellas as an example, Crude, Tenset, and Nuda, they're kind of like recognized with each other, and like they're always like travel around teams with each other. So it's obviously like good from a team's leader, would you say, for people to work together and always be together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're in a team, it's also good to introduce yourself to other people who you're usually social with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, yeah, you may have like a friends group within the team, but you'd be surprised the amount of friends you can make within the team, or even from other places. Because
even from when I joined there, like, I hardly ever spoke to Deza. I'll just take Deza as an example. I hardly ever spoke to Deza. Obviously, was like kind of friends and we followed each other, but being in there, we worked with each other in making videos. So that's just one example of just like being in there, and that's just kind of one thing, if that makes sense.
Right. And I mean, with these content creating teams, these director teams, I would love to see them all work together in some way, shape, or form. I feel like now it's more of a competition, which for content, to be honest, it can't be a competition. Everyone's unique and diverse in their own way.
Yeah.
I mean, I just see it in the trick shotting sniping aspect, but not in the content creating. So I feel like we all have to support each other. That's the reason why, and I know in your last video, you had brought up about Director's Block coming back. That's one of the main reasons why I brought Director's Block back, because I wanted a place to where these creators, these even streamers, I'm bringing streamers in, I'm bringing videographers, entertainers. Good. It's not just gamers. And a place that gives them, you know,
a platform to work with each other and grow up each other's fan bases.
Right.
See, that's why, that's why I like Director's Block, as I said in the video, just because, like I said, it's people brought typically, obviously from the bigger teams, but like you said, you're going to try and incorporate other people. But
right.
It's just, even if it's just the big teams, people are still working together and using each other's fan bases to benefit themselves. And
for you smaller guys who do want to, you know, get into Director's Block, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. I mean, I don't plan on ending it. None of us plan on ending it. We work as a group. We work as a unit. It's not just one person's decision or two people's decision. It's not just my decision. So, you know, one of the pieces of advice I can give you, like, to join, not just Director's Block, but any team, is your quality and content has to be there. Like, I mean, yeah, consistency is important. I do agree with that. That's how you'll see consistent growth. But if you have those videos that you, even like 1 to 2 videos a week, if you have videos like that, they're just like eye-opening, like that catches your audience's eye. Those are videos I'd much rather see. I mean,
well, you can link that back to Crypt if you kind of, because Crypt doesn't upload like every day. He uploads like maybe once or twice a week, but when he uploads, you know it's going to be a good and entertaining video.
Right, but the thing with Crypt, and I think I told him this was, aside from the diss traps, there has to be something else he can do.
Something else, yeah.
Yes, and that's what's gonna make it or break it for him. Because honestly, I see him moving up past there. To be honest, I'm not saying that I don't want him to move up past there. I will tell you this, but I can't hold people back. You know, I want Dare to be seen as
a big one of the biggest teams.
A priority for people, and that's something. I don't know if we've talked about this in your video. I have to go back and watch your videos, but one of the things I can tell you guys, for you directors out there, is please stick to your teams as long as you can, because this is the way I look at it for content creating teams or directors. Especially if you have videos on their team channel, people want to keep coming back. Like Crypt, you saw Crypt uploaded that Myth video. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Now that video right there, people may have bashed it. The thing is, that's what's going to make Myth unique, because they have someone like Crypt. Like, that's what's going to get people coming back, because you have people like that.
Yeah, and
who step outside of the box, who contribute uploads like that. You know, I mean, yeah, people can come back to the team channel for like montages and stuff, but it's special to see these different personalities, different
featuring on the team channel and just like working with each other. Yeah, I agree, because
and then you keep coming back and you keep seeing your favorite guys, and that's why, you know, I'm glad we have someone like Deza. We have some of these guys who's been here for so long who are becoming, you know, these fan favorites. That's what I want to turn Dare into, a team full of fan favorites that people enjoy
like
seeing.
So are you trying to say like you kind of want people to join? Obviously you don't like expect them to stay in forever and you wouldn't hold them back, but you want their people in there like joining as a director or content creator to see Dare as like a priority, and basically to stick in there for as long as possible until they feel like
it's not necessarily just Dare. I mean, it goes for the other teams.
Oh
too,
yeah,
like,
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
but yeah, that's essentially how it is for me. That's my way of thinking. I mean, I like to work with people who are here for the long haul things, because it just makes things much easier. It's easier for them to see your vision and be on the same level as you in terms of understanding. And they're also more rewarding to work with. I'd rather work with someone who's there for X amount of months. Yeah, exactly. Longer than that,
someone
even.
Who's just joined.
Versus someone who's just gonna dip and walk away like 1 to 2 months later. Like, I mean, I get opportunities come and go, and so I'm not here to discourage you, to tell you guys, if an opportunity comes your way, you know, especially a really good opportunity, those come only once every so often, or once in a, I don't even want to say once in a lifetime, because, you know, there's always opportunities. You just have to be able to.
You just have to know what you're doing.
You have to stick out. You have to stick out.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just leave a team such as Dare.
I mean, I can't beat around the bush and say it's not. I can't beat around the bush and say it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because in a sense, that kind of is how it works in this scene. But at the same time, you know, it also
your quality has to be there as well.
Your quality has to be there. Exactly.
Knowing people in these bigger teams is probably the most important thing. But like, you can't just because I know like X amount of people in Obey doesn't mean I'm qualified to join, if that makes sense. Your quality has to be there, along with knowing these people.
You have to remember, these larger guys, or I'm not even gonna say larger guys, these content creators who are in like teams much larger than maybe much larger than your team, they were in the same position as you once before.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to remember that. So, you know,
and you just have to look at kind of how they did it, and I'll take like
some people, it took them years on years. They've been here since I've been here. I've been here since 2011. Then there's some people who just got in maybe a year ago or 2 years ago who are already up in these larger teams or have a much larger status. You know, it can go any way. It's just how you spend your time doing it.
That's one thing I'd say. If you see someone you like, obviously content creating and like watching other people's content is all opinion based, and I don't care what anyone says. That is like, Travy, you might like someone who I don't like, but like for underrated guys, you can't get like discouraged if you see someone you don't like joining a bigger team, because that's just going to make you like not liked by people, and that's just one thing, just kind of thing.
Right.
Like
everyone has a different.
Kind of thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just like I was saying, you can't just like get discouraged by people joining bigger teams if you don't deem they are worthy. It's just all opinion based.
Everyone has their own taste of different content. Not everyone's gonna like the same content, but that's like I said, that's what makes people. That's what makes the human mind unique in a way. I guess you could say.
Yeah, because obviously
your thoughts are different. Everyone's thoughts are different. And what they think, how
it's
they
all
interpret.
opinion based. I agree, but I pretty much think that's it for this episode. You know, we've been talking for like nearly 25 minutes. So I'd like to thank Travy for coming out. If you guys would like to see like a part 2 with Travy, if you've got any other questions that we haven't like covered in this video, if there's any other things you would like us to like cover in the next one, make sure to let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you all did enjoy. 150 likes or 200 likes like the last episode would be awesome. But that's going to be it. Thank you, Travy, for coming out. And that's going to be it. Peace.
Yeah, for sure. This is Pineapple Master Travy, and I'm out late.
Another day in the ghetto. One look outside and I'm already upset, yo. It look about 102. It's a Saturday and Biggie ain't got nothing to do. I'm interrupted by a phone ring. Sometimes I wish I never got the motherfucking thing. Hello, can I speak to Biggie? Yo, who this? Tanisha. Yo, call back. I'm